A couple weeks ago, Garand Thumb released a video titled something along the lines of the Geissele URGI Super Duty punch way above their price. And to be honest, when I watched the video, it just felt like a lot of word soup. He was saying a lot of things that I don't really think had any meaning. I do think that Geissele makes an amazing weapon system, but saying that they punch way above their price is something I don't necessarily agree with. I think Geissele offers a very fair price for the product that they offer. But as I watched this video put out by Garand Thumb, I just couldn't help but think, what if we compared everything that he was saying about the Geissele URGI Super Duty to something a lot cheaper? Something like a Palmetto State Armory Sabre-15. If you were to go online right now and buy a Geissele Super Duty online, you'd be paying something in the ballpark of $2,300 to $2,600. If you were to go on Palmetto State Armory's website right now and purchase this exact same Sabre-15, you would be paying $950. So today we're going to be looking at some of the claims that Garand Thumb made about the URGI. We're going to be directly comparing those claims to the performance of a Palmetto State Armory Sabre-15. Really quick, because I know people are going to be in the comments asking what qualifies me to talk about the Geissele URGI. I used the Geissele URGI for about 4 years in the military, and I absolutely loved the weapon system. I used the 14.5 inch variant, I used the 11.5 inch variant, had zero complaints, never had any problems with them. Geissele makes amazing weapon system. This is not a video to talk bad about Geissele. This is just a video where I want to take some claims that another creator made and compare a much cheaper weapon system to a expensive weapon system and see really what the difference is, and if you can claim that Geissele actually does punch way above their price. Really quickly, I want to take some time to shout out a sponsor to today's video, which is Phantom Defense. Phantom Defense, they are a company that is local to me. They reached out to me, said, hey, we want to send you some ammo, man. Tell us what you think. So today, I'm going to be shooting their 77 grain 5.56. Super excited about it. Thank you, Phantom. You guys are awesome. I'm excited to do more stuff with you guys in the future. We also have Bulkhead Energy, who is sponsoring the channel this year, guys. Bulkhead Energy is a veteran-owned, veteran-operated energy drink company. Zero sugar, nootropics, electrolytes, B vitamins. It's got all the stuff you want in it. And the coolest part is it's made here in the States. If you guys are American, if you want to support veteran-owned business, and if you love energy drinks like I do, go check out Bulkhead, guys. They make awesome stuff. And if you use code JJ10, that is capital J's 10, you'll get 10% off on your order, and it will support the channel so we can keep making cool stuff like this. So the first claim that you hear Garand Thumb make on his video is that the gun shoots fast. He says, this is a fast gun. The reason why I say that that's a word soup claim is because I don't really think that the gun makes much of a difference in terms of speed. I know a lot of people are going to lose their minds when I say this, but the reality is if you take a complete mil-spec gun, mil-spec trigger, you can shoot it extremely fast if you yourself are dry firing enough and training enough with that weapon system. That's not to say that something like a lighter trigger or a better gassed system isn't going to make a difference, but for the most part, my understanding is that a gun cycles much faster than the human finger can even react. So saying that the gun shoots fast is kind of just dependent on the shooter. And that's really my claim, is that 95% of shooting fast and accurate is the shooter itself. That other maybe 5% or less is the weapon system that you're using. You see this all the time in competitive shooting, especially on the US PSA side. You see guys going and competing at the highest level with essentially stock Glocks who are putting up the same exact performance as guys who are using the most souped up 2011s. So what Garand Thumb actually does to show that this is a fast gun is he does a bill drill. So he goes to the 7-yard line and he runs a bill drill, and he starts at a depressed ready position. So the gun is aimed at the target, and it's kind of where he's looking over the sight. So today we're gonna do that. We're gonna compare our numbers and see if the Geissele URGI Super Duty is actually performing at a faster speed than something like a PSA Sabre-15. All right, so we're gonna do things the exact same way that Garand Thumb does it. So we're here, the 7-yard line. We're gonna run a bill drill from a depressed ready position, and we will see what our time is. So in Garand Thumb's video, he records a 1.24 bill drill and a 0.98 bill drill. So let's see if we can get anywhere near those numbers here right now. We had 1 Charlie there. All alphas. 116. So in terms of a bill drill and speed of the rifle, we're slightly slower. And he recorded a 1.24 and then a 0.98. So I would say we're about a quarter of a second slower. Is that time that could be bought by the weapon system itself, by that sweet Geissele trigger, or is that just a shooter problem from a guy who right now isn't practicing carbine as much? I'll let you guys decide. But in terms of speed, would you say that the price is really buying you that much there? The next claim that Garand Thumb makes in this video is, man, this gun is just, it's really easy to drive this gun. The recoil is so easy to control. I really just think that being able to drive the gun, it has a lot more to do with the way that you're mounting the gun to your body than it does so much about the components that are on your gun. Again, not saying that the components don't help out with that. I just think that the 95% solution is how you mount the gun to your body. So the way he proves this is through a transition drill where he takes 3 targets and he shoots 1 round in each of the A zones and shows how easy it is to transition from target to target and control the recoil, which to me, again, this is just more of a how I mount the rifle to my body and how good is my vision. So we're gonna run the drill, we're gonna compare times and see where the difference is. All alphas was a 126, but it picked up me pulling it off. So if you look at the third shot, 126. All right, that was 2 alphas, 1 Charlie, and it was a 116. Now here we are with this transition drill that's supposed to prove the gun's ability to track well, to control recoil, etc., and we're sitting at about 1/10 of a second slower than what numbers Garand Thumb and his Geisele's were producing. Now my argument would be that for these first 2 drills, it's mainly a shooter problem and not so much a weapon system problem. But if we're looking at this objectively and we're not comparing shooters, we're just comparing rifle systems, then again, the Geissele wins out on the being able to drive the gun well. But my question for you is, paying almost triple the cost worth 1/10 of a second? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. The final claim that Garand Thumb talks about in his video is the ability for these guns to shoot long range. He talks about the cold hammer forged barrels, how well they perform. And I will say that the URGI is known for having a fantastic barrel. So what we're gonna do is we're actually going to switch ranges, and I'm gonna show you guys some B-roll of me pushing this PSA Sabre-15 out to similar distances to what he pushes the Geissele out to. In Garand Thumb's video, he was using full IPSC size targets. I personally don't own any of those. I have reduced C-zone 2/3 IPSC size targets. So the ranges we're gonna be shooting are gonna be a slightly less, but the targets we're gonna be hitting are also smaller. So it's kind of to compensate for that difference in range. In Garand Thumb's video, he shows how these URGIs can punch out to 300, even out to 500 yards, no problem, with an 11.5-inch barrel. Today, I'm gonna show you how this Palmetto State Armory with a 14.5-inch barrel can have very similar performance. Now I had to move locations in order to be able to punch out to range. Before we start shooting, I also want to mention that I did do a 100-yard grouping to see what this rifle was really capable of in terms of MOA size groupings. I did 2 groups. One was a sub MOA group and the other was about a 1.5 MOA group. So I'll put those screenshots right here so you guys can see what those groups look like, but I did not actually film myself doing this, so take it for what it's worth. All right, so we'll just start off with a basic 100-yard steel target. It's one of these 2/3 IPSCs. Here we go. Obviously, pretty easy shot. Now we'll move on. The next target up the hill, it's gonna be kind of hard for you guys to see. In fact, I don't think you'll be able to see it at all. It's about halfway up. It's sitting at 246 yards. Here we go. Impact. 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 Again, that's 246. Very easy. We'll move up from there. That's where we have us know your limits targets. And we're just gonna be aiming for the larger square target down there. They've kind of all been mushed together and I can't go up there due to the roads right now to change them up. So target is at 330. Miss. There we go, impact. 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 And lastly, we have a target out there. It's one of these 2/3 IPSCs at 450. So again, let's see if we can hit that. Just off the right. Impact. On the last round. Took me a little bit with the winds getting a little shifty. I'm sitting here editing, guys. I realized I totally forgot to mention that on April 24th to 26th, Mountains, Mullet America, and myself are going to be doing a 3-day Western Practical Precision Rifle shooting course. This is an all-inclusive event held at Day Mountain Ranch Resort, which is one of the, if not the best, long-range shooting facilities on the West Coast. Pretty much all you have to do is sign up, bring your rifle and your ammo, and everything else will be covered for you guys. That includes lodging, meals, entertainment, everything. The first day is just a foundations day where we focus on the principles of long range shooting. And then the second and third day, we end up going up into the mountains and we do a little bit more of an advanced course with cross canyon shooting, winds, high angle shooting, and much more. So if you guys are interested, I'm gonna put the link down below. As of me posting this video right now, the class is already over halfway full. And we have a discount code that you can use for the remainder of January. The discount code is EARLYBIRD, all caps, EARLYBIRD, and that will get you 10% off the total cost of the course. Excited to see you guys out there. All right, guys, so as you can see, we're really not having any difficulty hitting these targets out at distance. I understand that the farthest we shot was 450, but with a reduced C-zone steel size target, I'm really not disappointed with that. In closing, I just really want to make it clear what the purpose of this video is. This is not a video to dunk on Geissele. This is not a video to dunk on Garand Thumb. This is a video to show you guys that it really comes down to the wizard and not the wand. If you had to decide between spending $2,600 on a full Geissele rifle or $900 on something like a PSA, but then have that $1,700 extra dollars to go and spend on something like ammo, at the end of that ammo training, you're going to be a lot more capable with your PSA system than if you just bought the Geissele and didn't have any money for training. In the gun community today, there's this problem where everyone is so focused on having the nicest stuff. Everyone wants the Instagram gun. Everybody wants the products that are popular. When in reality, what people should be doing is doing their dry fire and buying products that they can afford, and then taking those products out and practicing every single day with them. So at the end of the day, when we compare all of the numbers and all of the stuff, did Garand Thumb outperform me in the bill drill? Yes. Did he outperform me in the transition drill? Yes. Is it the gun? Was it the shooter? You know, I'll let you guys decide, but really what it comes down to is the fact that most of our times were within 1/10 to 1/4 of a second. And so if that's worth almost 3 times the cost to you guys, then it is. And if you have the money to go and buy that, by all means go and do it. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the training. So go out, train, compete, buy what you can afford, and figure out how to make it work. A lot of these weapon systems that are on the cheaper end are a lot more capable than what you think they are, and really aren't so far off compared to some of these other more expensive guns. Duty rifles have a place. The Geissele probably outperforms something like this long term. It probably outperforms something like this in more harsh conditions. Things like when it's dirtier, it's older, maybe you're working in crazy temperatures or crazy environments. For the most part, most of us just want a gun that we can go out and shoot, have fun with, defend our family with, and you really can't go wrong with something like this. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. If you got any value out of it, please go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe. 2026 is going to be a big year for this channel, and I'm super excited to show you guys some of the stuff we've been working on. Hope you guys have a good weekend.